Welcome to Matters Financial and Geopolitical from a Frontier. Thank you for stopping by. Let's move on to Africa. It's election day in Malawi. This is a copy of the presidential election ballot paper from Samira Solani. President Mutharika is vying for a second five-year term. Malawians are also voting for a new parliament and local government councillors. Malawi election facts and figures are seen in this screen grab from Samira as well. The lake, of course, is stunningly beautiful. In this first photograph, Hannah and I are having a swim amongst the fish. In the second photograph by Nchenga, fishermen canoeing across the lake. Zambia's government filed notification of plans to take over Vedanta's domestic copper assets, President Lungu has said. Zambia's government filed notification of plans to take over Vedanta Resources Limited domestic copper assets. President Lungu has said the southern African nation's Eurobond yield surged to a record high and the currency hit a 3.5-year low. The stock market went up. However, this move marks an escalation in tensions between the government and mine owners after Lungu last week threatened to divorce Vedanta and Glencore PLC. Lungu targeted Konkola copper mines in a weekend visit to Zambia's Copperbelt province, where some companies are cutting production and firing workers. So you can't fight the market, unfortunately, and the price keeps coming lower. Servicing external loans has already caused foreign reserves to drop to a decade low, while the currency has fallen by more than 14% against the dollar this year, making it the worst performer globally after Argentina's peso. 24th of April last year, I was doing Ronak Gopaldas was writing in BD Business Day, and I said to him, look, there's a big ticket blow up in any African country, might well be the catalyst for a sell-off. And that big ticket blow up looks like it's going to be Zambia. Zimbabwe got a loan from Afrexim Bank using its platinum as collateral. That's an interesting development. Secured a $500 million loan from the African Export-Import Bank to try and stabilize its currency by offering platinum production as collateral, a person familiar with the details of the agreement said. Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe on Saturday announced on Twitter that the money would be released into the foreign exchange market from Monday without saying where it came from. Now we know where it did. Loan is of 4 years duration. The use of platinum as collateral is another sign of Zimbabwe's lack of credit worthiness, as the country has struggled to borrow money from banks using standard repayment terms and has had to resort to its commodity production. Central Bank has allowed the RTGS dollars, which it had previously insisted was valued at par with the dollar, to weaken to 3.48 to the dollar. The black market rate is 6 to the dollar, and it has fallen as low as 7 before that announcement was made. Afrexim Bank is partly owned by African governments and is on the hook big time in Zimbabwe. This is from Paul Wallace. You can see how the currency rallied on the parallel market as the central bank announced a $500 million injection. Money is accordingly a system of mutual trust, and not just any system of mutual trust. Money is the most universal and most efficient system of mutual trust ever devised. In other words, money isn't a material reality, it's a psychological construct. It works by converting matter into mind. There is a correlation between high inflation and revolutionary conditions. President Felix Tshisekedi and his predecessor Joseph Kabila have agreed on a new Prime Minister, Dr. Sylvestre Ilunga Ilunkumba. He has been head of Congo's railway parastatal and a former finance minister under Mobutu. I'm happy to be back home. The truth always triumphs, said Moise Katumbi as he returned to the DR Congo. He was forced to leave around June 2016 when I wrote about it, and I said Kabila, however, outwitted Moise Katumbi by removing him from the street and the Congo entirely. And that I was saying that Katumbi had set out his stall and was proving a formidable adversary, but he's back now. Looks like Tito Mboweni will stay on as finance minister for another year. That's a good result. South African all-share is up 5.46% year to date. Dollar versus Rand 14.445. The Rand is now testing the band at the top. It breaks there, we could see 15. Egyptian pound 17.023. Egyptian stock market plus 2.64% year to date. Nigeria's MPC cut its lending rate by 50 basis points. Inflation, however, has rebounded to 11.37%, and the Nigerian economy slowed and only grew 2.01% on an annualized basis in the first quarter of this year. The Nigerian all-share is down 6.54% year to date. Ghana Stock Exchange down 2.61% year to date. Why Africa can't get rich only exporting commodities. Example number 10,532 from John Ashmore. Cost breakdown of a £2.50p cup of coffee in London. 87 pence, shop costs, staff costs 63 pence, tax 37 pence, profit 17 pence, cups, napkins 10 pence, milk 10 pence, actual coffee 0.25. Kenya, we believe the SGR is economically viable. Note that in the first year of operations, the Mombasa-Nairobi SGR has earned 10.33 billion shillings, which is close to the operating cost of 12 billion shillings. This is Wu Peng, Beijing's new envoy to Nairobi. Trade deficit with China, we have $167 million of exports against $3.78 billion of imports. And I wrote over the weekend, emerging and frontier markets are shivering as they start to factor in the China emerging and frontier markets and add Germany to that mixed feedback loop phenomenon. If China sneezes, a whole lot of countries are going to get a very serious bout of influenza. Interestingly, in our case, we're relatively immune to this phenomenon because China is not a big taker, avocado hopes aside, of our exports. Devkeat Group's National Cement is to buy the cement maker Athi River Mining for 5 billion shillings, Madui House is reporting. Actually, when it was suspended, it was trading at a market capitalization of practically the exact amount. We have received over 16,000 applicants, with the amount repatriated so far at 1.014 trillion shillings. The incentive was meant to encourage Kenyans to repatriate their wealth back to the country for purposes of development. My article over the weekend was the Kachumbari bond. I ended by quoting Vinod Khosla, the future is not seen in the rear view mirror. Nairobi all shares up 3.38% in 2019. The NSE 20 is down 6.96% in 2019. Thank you for stopping by and look forward to seeing you later on Metropole TV. Thank you.